I'm going to first go through some books, and then I'm going to discuss some other things with you. So the first book I wanted to talk about was Persepolis. I actually read the first half of it for my other English class. I forgot, Contemporary Lit was what it was. And I liked that it was like a graphic novel. You don't see many of those. I felt like a kid, reading like a picture book or something. But the best part about it is that it's not like material for children, obviously, and it was really easy to read because of the pictures, and it, instead of creating your own imagery like you normally do when you read a book, it gave you the imagery, and it made me understand more of what she was talking about. I really enjoyed this book a lot. Next is the Vagina Monologues, and oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this. This is going to be backwards for some reason on a Mac. It does that. Anyways, the Vagina Monologues. I saw the play or skit or whatever you want to call whatever it's officially called. I saw it my freshman year of college, and I really, 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 really loved it. It was amazing. And when I went through and read this, I was surprised because I just think that year the people that performed just did a knockout performance, and when I was reading it, I was less excited as when I actually saw it. Nonetheless, it was still good. Okay, the rules. Let me just say, when I read this book, I honestly thought that it was hyperbole. I can't believe that there's women that feel like that. It's just, it was so sexist, like from a woman's perspective too. And I'm gonna read you a quote from it that I just thought was amazing, but not in a good way. How many times have you heard someone say, "She's nice, she's pretty, she's smart. Why isn't she married?" Frankly, many women we know find it easier to relocate to another state, switch careers, or run a marathon than get the right man to marry them. What? 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 It's undermining the fact that running a marathon is an accomplishment. I can't do that. I don't think a book, this thing cannot instruct you on how to find the right man. So although I hated it, because these women are incredibly sexist, and I'm in shock. Like, even though I hated it, I enjoyed reading it because I just had no idea there were people that actually thought that. I'm just gonna say, I hated this book. No, I hated it. It just, it didn't really have a plot. It wasn't very interesting. I guess I understand the validity of it because it talks about cultures and age, different generations of women and how they interact with each other. But I really think that there could have been a better piece of literature for that. However, I think that what that book could have taught me was that I'm going to have to read some things that may not be the most interesting, but it doesn't take away the validity of the book. So I wish I would have actually taken more advantage of that while reading that book, because I don't remember hardly any of it because I was just so uninterested I couldn't retain what I was reading. This is the last book we read, and I loved it. Like, the thing I'm going to say, though, is every story ended with some sort of lesbian relationship, and that is a nice twist, like, because, fairy tales tend to be heterosexual, but I think that what it's missing is that heterosexual relationships can be made and not have it be like this fairy tale. I don't know. I thought that she could have incorporated that into it, and it would have made it so much better. But it was a fantastic book, and as I am going to say in my Socializing with Scholars project, I think the genre is flawed, not the fact that the original fairy tales were very sexist. For my role as a writer in this class, I can honestly say that I think my best and worst writing was in the same assignment, and that was writing a letter to another woman. And I chose to write about the vagina monologues because I really, really liked that text and I had a lot of fun writing it. Um, However, my response was from Dreaming in Cuban, and as you know from what I said earlier, I really hated that book. So it was hard for me to write about something that I didn't like, I didn't necessarily understand enough, and whatnot. And that was how I think I could improve my writing if I could learn how to get through reading literature that I don't like. And I think what would really help is for me to take notes during it if it's really that boring. So that way I might not miss some of the key symbolism and things like that in the text. Um, I really don't I can't say that I think my writing skills have improved because of this class because I write a lot because I am a journalism major. And I also wanted to say for journalism, I usually pick my topic instead of being assigned. I usually get a very vague prompt in my journalism classes and we pick according to that, like some sort of really broad topic. So I think that's why I didn't succeed as well as I could have in writing in this class. As far as my role as a critical thinker goes, I think this class, the fact that there was such a wide variety of opinions, and it was even my favorite part personally was hearing the men in the class's opinions because it was women in literature was the class, it was female dominated, but other people's opinions that were not my own were really interesting to me because it made me consider something that I hadn't, and whether I agreed with it or not, I still think it was good to hear that because it gives me either a stronger opinion or it makes me rethink my opinion. I think I brought about a different opinion. I do consider myself a feminist, but I just don't have the same opinion as a lot of feminists because I believe that sometimes women bring it upon ourselves, and it's not necessarily a patriarchal society because men make it that way. And I think a lot of women um, kind of want to blame men, and that's the one thing I was not comfortable with in the class because I felt like there was a little bit of that. But um, other than that, I just thought hopefully I brought to light for other people that um, men face some sexist things too. My role as a lifelong learner, again, I'm repeating myself, but I was not a fan of Dreaming in Cuban, and I learned that from now on, I'm going to take notes on texts like that are hard for me to get through because I think that I didn't do so well in certain parts of class because of that book. Anything involving it, basically, I didn't do well in. So next time, I'm going to find a better learning strategy. I'm going to be honest. I don't like group projects. As far as partners go for group projects, I have to say Christina was excellent. She always like reminded me, like babysat me, make sure I got my stuff done. She was great and she did good work. And I was always on top of my stuff. And I personally think that I put in extra effort when I had to work with her because I didn't want to drag her down or anything like that. But we did have a group member that I guess never went to class after that. And it was really frustrating because this girl never actually told us she was or wasn't in the class or was or wasn't in the group. And we called, emailed, we did everything. So that was frustrating. But as far as that class goes, I lucked out. But I hate group work because I like to do things independently and my way. And I, I just prefer to do things by myself.